Welcome, everybody. John Zager. This is, I don't know what day today is. Maybe Tuesday. Tuesday afternoon. Let's go with that. I'm not even sure. But how is everybody? I hope everybody is fine. It's afternoon, 1:30 here in Colorado. And the rain has stopped. Really didn't amount to much anyway. And that's good. And the clouds are kind of out. Looks like we might get a little bout of some rain later on this evening. I'm not real sure. Just an update. I wanted to do a second podcast today. Felt it was kind of important for a couple reasons. And as I go through this, you'll sort of understand. But gosh darn. My attempt to change matter with matter was basically unsuccessful. Live in a three-dimensional world, therefore, sometimes we have to revert back to our three-dimensional world. I'm going to turn on the truck. It's kind of hot here, and maybe get a little air going through here. I don't have the windows open, otherwise people would be listening to my podcast. They need to tune in. So I hope this doesn't make too much noise. And we'll run it for a little while till it cools off. But my attempt to change matter to matter, matter from matter, really didn't work. I mean, it's a great idea. Sometimes we have to go and make some money to pay the bills, and if the quantum world's not providing that, then we're left with Newtonian model, and Newtonian model is cause and effect, and if I go do some work, the cause may cause an effect of producing some income, and it did, and I made some money, and now I have paid some bills and bought some food and put some gas in the truck and all the necessary things that I have to do, but it's not worth it. It just isn't worth it. Now, I'm not working for anybody. Everything I do for myself. I mean, I'm self-employed, so therefore, if I'm even back trying to change matter, it's me seeking out work from somebody who needs something done, and then they hire me, so I'm basically working for myself. It's impossible for me to work for anybody ever again. It's been that way for a long, long time, and you all sort of reach that point as you get older that working for someone is pretty disrespectful, the way that managers treat employees today. So anyway, but here's the interesting thought. This is kind of why I came back on to talk a little bit more about this today. I have iced coffee this afternoon. Yay! It's decaf. It's not caffeinated. But here's, and I had my super salad. Yay! And a piece of 3-ounce piece of grilled salmon. So I'm back on my regular diet again. I will start eating again once a day from this point forward. And I went and cleaned up, and my weight's still down, so I didn't get carried away while I was working with eating some food that may not be always all that good for you. But here's the reason I came back on. So I have a good friend. Well, I don't know. He and I have done a lot of things together in the past, work-wise, psychology-wise, treatment-wise. And I like him. I like him a lot. And I think he likes me a lot. But there were some possibilities. What I liked about this gentleman was that he was creative. He was willing to work off of the 5% of his brain, which is the creative side, right? Rather than the 90 plus percent side, which is all thoughts from the past and programs that were put into us. But here's the thing. He's always been a guy that's been creative and comes up with outstanding growth in the industry of psychology himself and change. So I like that. And we had kind of gone different directions after our last stint together. And it was just over. It was over at the time. We had a lot of fun working in this program that he built. I kind of helped assist in some ways, and it was kind of our program, and it was kind of cool. It was very cool. And then it ended, and everybody went their own way. Then he came up with another equally exciting opportunity in psychology. You know, this is him, his creative side. And he contacted me and talked and thought, you know, well, maybe this could be how we do a joint venture thing back again. And I said, I'm in. I mean, I don't even want to think about it or process it, or you know, if you're the other side, I'm there. Whatever you need, let me know, and I'm happy to help you. And the weirdest thing that happened was that it fell apart. Kind of just fell apart. And this guy doesn't normally let things fall apart. And I began to wonder, like, am I missing something? Am I missing something here? And I was. He has a different kind of program that he's in, and it works well for him, but it's still Newtonian, cause and effect, past, middle, future kind of idea. You know, it's person, place, and time. And he doesn't come from a quantum background, right? And he basically lives off of his subconscious, you know, which is 90% of the time, and 70% of that is negative. That's true with all of us, not just him. But, you know, if we're living in the matrix off of programs from the past, 70% of those thoughts and beliefs and perceptions are negative. That's why our lives are bad. That's why we get disease. That's, you know, we attract all that kind of stuff. Yes? Follow me on that? Yes, you did? And I had never really put him together with the quantum model. I guess I always viewed him as being, I don't know, Newtonian, you know, cause and effect. And so when one of his brilliant ideas, and this kid is just, I call him a kid because he's younger than me, but, you know, he has good stuff. And I never see him back off of anything. Right? So there's a couple things that could be happening. The first is that, you know, I'm not getting the full story and all the information and all the facts, and that might very well be, and it's none of my business, and I don't really care. And that could be the reason that this particular business venture of his is struggling to keep its head above water. Don't know. The other side that could be going on is that I'm learning about him. He doesn't think from a quantum perspective. Do you guys get that? Do you guys understand what I just said? You know, he doesn't think quantumly. His thoughts are not from a quantum model. He really is Newtonian, cause and effect, beginning, end. You know, time, place, person, matter trying to change matter. You know, not from a physical standpoint like I just did for 2.5 days, but you know, his is a mental thing, but it's still matter trying to change matter. And when I correspond with him, I always throw out quantum statements just to see how he's going to reply. And it's like he doesn't even get it. That's the reason I'm back on today. Is that sometimes, I mean, I'm in that quantum model 100% of the time, all the time, and I only had to go back to the Newtonian thing here for the last 2.5 days out of necessity, right? He, I think, has very little knowledge of the quantum model, and it's kind of blown me away, and I don't know what to do with that, because that's a game changer. You know, if he's not able to look at his day and his work creatively in terms of infinite possibilities, it's like all he came back with was negative, 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 nothing's going on. I'll let you know. Wow, there's a guy who's not got a program. There's a guy who does not have a program. There's a guy who's attracting disease. There's a guy who's attracting failure. There's a guy who's attracting illness, sickness, poor relationships, lack, just not thinking creatively. So I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened there. And again, it's none of my business, and I'm not going to push the issue, and you know, I'll back off of it now. But I've put out enough statements in the last 6 months to I would have generated some sort of a quantum answer. You know, today has infinite possibilities. I don't know. Things aren't going real well, but things are great. I have a clear vision of where I'm going and what it looks like, and all, you know, all that kind of stuff that you and we do in our program. Well, let me stop for a minute. I was going along in my program, and I hit a wall, right? And I had to go back to 3-dimension cause and effect and try to change matter. And I got away with it for 2.5 days, but boy, am I glad to be out of that Newtonian model. Whew! I am not going back there again. I am not going to allow that to happen again. So why can't the same thing be true with this guy? Maybe he's in his Newtonian model, and for whatever reason it's been working, it's been successful, or I don't know, and all of a sudden he has hit a brick wall, right? Okay, fine. And he doesn't have the quantum model understanding of the atom to pull himself out of it. He knows that, that I work from this model, but I don't believe he does any of this. I don't ever hear him talk about meditating or any of that sort of thing. And he's clearly hit a brick wall. And all I get back from him is a negative, negative, negative. Nothing's happening. More later. Doesn't sound like infinite possibilities exist to me in his head. So anyway, that's a little podcast for this afternoon. I want you guys to think about that. And use me as an example of how you don't want to hit a brick wall and not have your program working for you. And use him as an example of, in the Newtonian model, hits a brick wall and he has no clue what the quantum model is. And he's just attracting lack. And before you know it, there's going to be disease, sickness, illness right there looking for him. So we have to keep working our program. Don't work the quantum model to the point where we talked about, 2-3 days ago, where everything is miraculous. And, God dang it. I took a glance at another one of Dr. Joe's students, not testimonials, but he has a bunch of students, and there's this group that talk on the internet. Some lady today was, and I just read the first sentence or two, and she was asking what meditation best works for some illness in her family that doesn't really exist, but there's a possibility it could exist. Oh, God. Oh, stop me. I can't believe it. I'm not crying, you guys. I'm not crying. It's Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe, will you please get on that thing and inform your students a little more clearly what the program is, They just have the wrong conception of what you're saying, and they've put you up on a pedestal to where you're gonna cure blisters or something for runners. I have no idea where they're coming from. I have no idea where they pull this crap out of. None. Don't go down that road, you guys. Don't go down that road. Work a good program. Be clear in your program. We go through different steps of the program every day. Every day we do different aspects. And you have the possibility to heal yourself in some cases based on how you're working your program. I'm happy. I mean, I just went back and tried to change matter, and again, I knew it wasn't going to work in the first place, but again, that's where I had to go back and start over again. That's okay. I'm still excited about today. I'm still excited about today. And I'm looking forward to today, tonight, and tomorrow. And, you know, there are infinite possibilities that exist, you guys. Infinite possibilities that exist in our lives. And, golly, you guys, call in, contact me, do whatever you have to do to track me down. And if you need some consultation, please let me know. Happy to do that. If you need some coaching, happy to do that for you. If you want me to come and blab and talk and speak and do a workshop or whatever it is, let's do it. Let's do it. So, anyway, guess I got carried away. Oh, well, not the first time, huh? Anyway, God bless everybody. Have yourself a good rest of the day. Look forward to talking to everybody again real soon. See you all. Bye.